Welcome to Bridging the Gap, the Madison County Chamber of Commerce podcast, where Madison County's stories and businesses connect. I'm Sarah Pugh, the Executive Director of the Madison County Chamber of Commerce. Each episode spotlights the people, businesses, and nonprofits that make our community thrive while sharing the stories behind what they do. We're looking forward to learning more about their story and their connection to Madison County. Today I'm joined with Carly Wearmouth with Revival, Wellness, and Weight Loss. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
So for those who may not know you, can you tell a little bit about yourself and your business?
Absolutely. So I am 37 years old. I'm an entrepreneur. I own Revival. It's on the east side of the square. I'm from Winterset, lived here my whole life. I have 4 kids. I have 2 stepdaughters, Cadence and Madeline, and 2 boys, Grady and Henry. I'm a doodle mom. I got Betty White and Bo. They're my 2 little puppies, and I live here in town, kind of by the park, with my husband, Wade, and we are just building a farm, or building a house at our farm, near St. Charles, on the east side of Winterset. So that's all about me.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your business, Revival, and how that all started.
Absolutely. So I've been a nurse practitioner since 2020. Right when COVID hit was when I became an NP. The world was getting kind of wild. I had been an ER nurse before that, and everything kind of shut down. So it was an odd time for me to become an NP. Everyone kind of started maybe not trusting healthcare as much and feeling a little bit like they wanted to go on their own and work on their own wellness journeys, which was great, but hard in the traditional healthcare system. I worked for a regional hospital. I did primary care, and then I created an obesity medicine program there. One of the biggest struggles that I had was documentation. People also wanting to go against, the traditional healthcare system, and me trying to bridge that for patients. Going from an RN to an NP, you realize how much you have to fight insurance companies. Mm-hmm. And really, that was a big struggle that happened in the traditional healthcare system. I decided that I wanted to start something that I could treat people on a cash pay basis. So then that way, it wasn't the insurance company dictating how I was going to treat people. And I didn't spend all of my time just documenting so that I could treat the patients and get burnout. So that's kind of how it started.
So when someone walks through your doors, what do you hope they feel?
Okay, this is a big one. One, we've created a really comfortable space for Revival. It's calming. We have some candles going and some good music going. I want it to feel like not the traditional healthcare space. I don't want it to feel cold and clammy and sterile. Obviously, it's clean, but I want people to walk in and feel comfortable. I want them to feel like they're accepted there. Like they're not, oh man, now I'm going to cry. This is where I was going to cry. Okay. I want them to feel like they're not going to another place where someone's just going to tell them, well, you need to eat less and work out more, and your labs are normal and you're just overreacting and you need to meditate. I want people to come in and be able to feel welcomed and understood and heard. And that's really what Allison and I really strive to do. She's my nurse that works for me. It's just us. And then, my front desk, Heidi, and I think that that's really, we're trying to create that atmosphere where people just feel welcomed and supported.
And seen and heard.
Yes, and seen and heard.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So you've talked a little bit already about what's different from the traditional healthcare. Can you go a little bit more into that?
Yeah. So we are kind of a concierge medicine clinic. We're cash pay, but that doesn't mean you have to walk in and just pay me dollar bills. That means that you can utilize like your HSA account. You can obviously use a debit card, credit card, or cash or check. But that just means we don't run through your typical insurance model. A lot of people that really works well for because they have high deductible plans and they're not getting covered anyway. But really, a good thing that we can do is it's not just a 15 or 30-minute visit. I get to spend as much time as my patients need. And it's not me spending a large amount of my day documenting for insurance to cover it. It's just, if you're able to afford this and you're able to come in, you can pay me for it and you get access to me and Allison. So we have an application where people can download it and they can do some tracking information, do some education, but then they can also message me at any time. I probably unhealthily check it. I probably should have some boundaries there, but patients literally have mostly 24/7 access to me if they have questions or concerns. And even if things aren't related to their hormones or weight loss, I mean, if they're like, hey, I have pink eye, can you tell me about it? I help them with that as well. So that's really the big difference is I am not insurance based and I can spend time with my patients.
So this philosophy that you're talking on seems very important to you. And that, is there a reason for that? Is there just from treating and seeing people in your history that this has become important for you? Or
I think that I've been a nurse for quite some since 2010. I think one of the biggest things, like in the ER, I was the one that always wanted to sit and talk to the patients and take time with them. We're always so busy, right? So we don't really have time for that. But when we had slow moments, I loved that. And I really wanted to bring that into becoming a nurse practitioner. Like I wanted to sit. And if you wanted to tell me about your trauma from childhood, or you wanted to tell me about your struggles with obesity and your yo-yos, I wanted to sit and have time with patients. And I really couldn't get that in the traditional, it's really just insurance-based world. Mm-hmm. It's not because the hospital didn't want to give that to me. It was just there wasn't enough hours in the day. So this really goes back to my roots of being able to treat people like humans, not just a number. And I think that that's extremely important to my business and myself and Revival, and obviously Allison too. I think we're really good at showing people we care. And that's really where that started.
And seeing the person. Yeah. That's so awesome. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about weight loss, that side of your business. Yeah. So this can be an emotional journey for people.
Absolutely.
How do you help patients move past that number that's on the scale?
Yeah. So the first thing, I'm an obesity medicine provider. I have a certification in obesity medicine from the Obesity Medicine Association. And that just means that I'm trained a little bit more in the obesity medicine side of things, understanding the etiology of it, how your body works, what metabolic adaptation is. And I'm good at, I feel, explaining that to patients, that it's not just, you just have been doing things wrong your whole life. It's actually a chronic disease and it should be treated as such. And you deserve to be treated just like you would if you had high blood pressure or depression, those kinds of things. And I think that the big thing that we need to do is just meet people where they are in the beginning. It's not, hey, you need to go from having a BMI of 50 to running a marathon, because you can't do that. Let's just be better than we were yesterday. Mm-hmm. Let's work on choosing one different thing. I'm not saying you can never have a pop again, but let's go from 1 liter or 2 liter of pops to have one can and then every other day. And that's not saying you have to change your whole outlook on life. Let's just work on improving a little bit of things, and then everything else will follow after that. So I think that's a really big thing. And then also, I feel mental health and obesity medicine are two things we have really big stigmas on, and we don't treat, and we kind of ignore. Even as a primary care provider, I did that. Like, I was like, I don't want to tell this person, hey, you're overweight. But now that like we talk about it and just like, hey, how do you feel about your body? How do your joints feel? Those kinds of things. I really feel that opens up a place where people are like, I felt shame about this for a long time. And I'm like, hey, you're not alone. And I like to help people get to where they need to be in order to realize it's not their fault. There's a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people struggle with that. And mental health really goes along with that as well. So just kind of supporting the whole person is really important to me.
Yeah. So do you see that there's a lot of big misconceptions that go with weight loss?
Absolutely. I think, just like I said before, I think one big thing is calories in, calories out. Everyone should do the exact same thing. Do I calculate those things for people? Yes. But I think that people think, well, if they just ate less, then they would be able to lose weight. That's not true. Obesity is a chronic disease and it should be treated as such. I think that's one thing that really, you see a lot of judgment on Facebook, social media, of people like, well, if they just didn't eat donuts, they would do fine. Well, they're doing everything and they're just not able to be as successful as you are. Another thing that I find is people think if you even come to a provider like me, I don't always give people medicine. There's tools. There's just accountability and discussion is a tool. Medications are a tool. Surgery is a tool. It is not anybody else's choice what you do with your body, and whatever tool you can do to be the healthiest version of you is what you need. And it doesn't really matter what anybody else thinks. Yeah.
So how important are you finding that accountability and education is in helping people reach their goals?
I think that accountability is 100% probably one of the biggest things. Do I feel that people aren't holding themselves accountable or even shameful on their own. Yeah, they do that. Mm-hmm. One thing that I find is usually people do a diet for 3 months and then everybody hits a stall. Everyone, no matter who you are, no matter if you're 300 pounds or 150 pounds, you're going to hit that stall out. And I think people get discouraged and like, well, this isn't working. I'm never going to be able to continue this. And I think that me reassuring them and educating them on that is that second piece. We're just keeping people on track and noting that you can continue this journey, even if it is hard. I think that's a big thing there.
Yeah. And then are you seeing that the hormone health plays a role in all of this as well?
Absolutely. I think the biggest patient population that I see is usually women in their probably late 30s to even 60s that are like, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, and men too, but mostly women is what I'm seeing because they're the ones that come seek women and healthcare providers anyway. But they're saying, I've done everything the exact same I had my whole life. Now all of a sudden I've got this tire around my belly. I'm more fatigued. I can't sleep. I'm anxious. I'm gaining this weight. I'm doing all the same things. But then also, hey, I'm craving a little bit more sugar, but I swear I'm trying not to eat it. But that 100% goes into our decline of our hormones and makes it more difficult no matter what we do. So that's a really big role they play. Metabolic health and hormone health play a big role together.
Hormone talk in general has just increased. Yep. Everywhere you go, yep. You can see or read something about that. Why do you think more people are seeking help with their hormones?
I think that's multifactorial. Like, I think that people really took health into their own hands when COVID happened. Mm-hmm. I think that we are coming into a generation where the millennials are getting older. We're saying we don't want to feel this way and we want help with that. I think that the WHI trial, which is a study that happened in the early 2000s that said that all hormones cause cancer, which is absolutely not true, has come to light. And there's a lot of people questioning that. So now we're asking, how can I feel better? Why can't I lose weight? Why do I have to suffer? Why do I all of a sudden have anxiety at 40 and I never felt that way? And also social media plays a big role in that. One big issue with social media playing a big role in that is there's a lot of false information out there as well. So I would just really encourage people, if you want to talk about it with a licensed provider, not Sally on TikTok that just told you to take these meds. So that's another big thing I'd recommend.
Yeah. So what are some signs that someone may benefit from talking with a provider?
The Shopper, the Madisonian, and the Exchange, your locally owned weekly publications from Madco Media Group in Winterset. The Shopper arrives free in mailboxes across Madison County. The Madisonian keeps you connected in print and online. And the Exchange is Iowa's largest marketplace publication. Plus, promote your business or events on our 10 digital billboards across Winterset. From design and copy to office services, we can do your light work. Madco Media Group, see what we can do for you. Located just off the square in Winterset. Locally owned, trusted, and connected. Call 515-462-1535 or email ads@madcomedia.com. Because local is where the heart is.
Big things. We want to think about hormones. We're not just talking about like our estrogen, testosterone. We're talking about progesterone, our thyroid health, our vitamin D, those kinds of things as well. But if you are feeling tired, if you've had weight gain, if you're anxious, have insomnia, for men, erectile dysfunction, if you're feeling down, you're having less stamina, muscle loss, those kinds of things, heart palpitations, those can all lead into all of those, sex hormones and vitamin D and thyroid hormones as well. Just any change, honestly, you can talk to a provider at any time if you have any concerns, but those are really the big things that I would say are kind of red flags.
Yeah. In all these conversations, are you seeing that you're helping patients feel more like themselves again?
Absolutely. I think, obviously I've done that for weight loss as I've been a provider in that for 6 years. And that's really been my big part of my job and my career. But really leaning into hormones in the last couple years has been extremely rewarding because not because people feel terrible. I hate that they feel terrible, but they come to me and they say, I can't sleep. I'm anxious. I hate my husband. I don't even want him to breathe. He's annoying me. Right. And then they come back like, I could kiss you. I can't believe that you like made me sleep again. And I'm not mad at the person that just cut me off in traffic. I don't feel like I want to run into their car, which I'm saying like, that's irrational, but it's true. People feel that way. I'm just so mad or I'm sad and I just want to feel like myself again. And I've had so much good feedback from that. It's exciting.
Yeah. What do you wish more people understood with that hormone therapy to get you there?
Yeah. So I wish people weren't scared. I wish people weren't as scared of hormones as well. I also wish that people knew that you could go to providers. I know so many fantastic providers in Winterset and Madison County, all over. But if you get a no from someone, it's not because, I don't think it's because they think all hormones are bad. It's because we're not educated in that. And I think you can ask another person and you don't need to be scared of it. You need someone to help you understand it, to guide you, not to tell you what you should and shouldn't do, or no person can take estrogen because it's going to cause breast cancer. All of those things. I wish that all of that bad information would get out of people's minds because they're so scared, and things can actually help them that are really just normal hormones in our body that we're just replacing.
Yeah. Just talking about it more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Revival has grown to more than just a clinic.
Mm-hmm.
What all do you have going on there?
Awesome. So we started when we bought the building and kind of created it, we really wanted to have a wellness cooperative. We couldn't use that name because it was taken. But anyway, we wanted to have a spot where people would come and there would be different services. So right now at Revival, we have 4 other people that rent rooms from us that are separate from Revival Wellness. They're part of a Revival property. Our longest renters are Real Connections Counseling. They do couples counseling, and then also they do individual counseling. Just recently, they added that. They're here just a couple of Saturdays a month, but I know that they do Thursdays as well. So you can reach out to them. They're fantastic. And then we have Maggie with MW Holisticus. Her and Jennifer are massage therapists. They are fantastic. Just make you feel so welcomed. And that's what we really love about Revival. Just come, feel comfortable, and you can get all the care there. We also have Quinn that just started this year. Hers is Beautification Bar by Quinn. She does nails, and that's a big thing that's a need in Winterset. And then she does waxing as well. And then Kinsey, Allison's daughter, just started Aura Beauty Bar by Kins, and she does facials and waxing and like lash lifts and tints. So just all the feel good things at Revival. I'm excited about it.
Wonderful. As you've been speaking, it seems like a lot of this is very personal for you.
Yeah.
What does the wellness and this wellness journey mean to you?
I think that the biggest thing that I have felt is really just a connection with patients. It's not just about your physical health. It's literally so much has to do with your emotional and mental health, and really just connecting with people is really important to me. I have had lots of things, wild, good, amazing, and also hard things happen in my life. And I've had some people that I've really been able to lean on, and I want to be that safe space for other people. I feel like I'm like that as a mom, as a friend, and as a provider. And I am so passionate about it at Revival. I love it.
I can see it. Yeah. Like I can feel it sitting across the table from you, which makes me want to participate in what you're doing because I know that you care about what you're doing and that you're going to care about the people you meet with.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very cool. So without giving details, can you share a success story that you've had that just moved you?
Oh man. Okay. There's a lot of those. I think the most important ones that are really interesting to me they're exciting to me are the older generation, the elderly people that have kind of felt left a little bit, and they have, obesity, and they can't walk very well and they can't move very well. have a very sweet lady, one of our favorite people. She lost over 50 pounds, and she's able to walk and move and participate with her grandchildren and do things that she just couldn't do before. And she's thankful, and she comes in and sees us all the times and gives us hugs and just loves us. And we love her, and just building that relationship with her, and her to be like, well, I went to my grandkids' soccer game and I played around with them, and I wasn't able to do that before. Without too many details and too much information, like those are really the biggest things that matter to me. We have people that, need hip replacements and knee replacements, and they can't do them because their BMI is too high. And then they go and get those, and I'm like, hey, I can walk a mile now. And I wasn't able to do that before. So really the longevity of that is really important for people to continue to live, but live also a healthy, happy life and be able to move around is really cool to see.
Yeah, very cool. So we're going to pivot here just a little bit and talk about small business ownership. Yeah. Because yes, you're in the healthcare world, but there's a whole behind the scenes on running a small business. So what surprised you most about being a small business owner?
Well, to share with everybody, I have been a small business owner since 2011. I've been a photographer. So I kind of knew the challenges of that a little bit. I think that one of the biggest things that was kind of challenging or interesting in creating a clinic is there's not a lot of clinics like mine. So to be able to create processes and to create compliance and consents and build my programs was really kind of complicated for me and interesting for me because I didn't have anywhere to go. So I had to really dig down deep and figure that out for myself. One thing that is challenging is it's kind of fun to be the nurse practitioner. It's kind of hard to do the taxes and be the business owner. It's cool though, to be able to do that and be able to be open whenever I want and do whatever I want with patients, sometimes to a fault, right? Like I said earlier, I kind of get a little bit too into that. I shared a post on Facebook the other day. It said, I became an entrepreneur so I could work from anywhere, and now I work from everywhere. So that's literally true about that. But I think finding a balance, and we're 3.5 years in, has really been a struggle and a challenge, but also something that I welcome. It's pretty cool to be able to do that.
Awesome. How has Madison County supported your business?
Yeah. So I really wanted Revival to start here because, well, this is my grassroots place and I love it. And I know so many people and I'm like, I know they'll support me. It might be challenging, but to be able to get to see the people I've known my whole life and also new people that I'm like, oh, you grew up, you moved to this place where I know this person that grew up there, being able to see that and having a lot of new people come in. There's a lot of people that come from Madison County. There's also a lot of people that are from around the state. We're also licensed. I'm licensed in Nebraska. So we do some telehealth all over the state, all over Nebraska. And then we even have people drive up. They're like, I love Winterset. It's so pretty. I want to go shopping. So can I come up there on this day so I can go shopping and see the pretty town square? And Madison County's been great, but everyone's just been really supportive as well. So yeah.
Did you find that it was important to build Revival here instead of like a larger city?
Absolutely. I knew people care about themselves, their health, and their family members here. And I knew that if things went well for one person, they would be like, my mom needs this too. I feel good. I want her to feel good too. Also, it's small town and I love small town. I have, like I said, I have people from bigger cities too. And sometimes I don't connect with them as well because I'm like, oh, I don't understand that as much. I love the small town farmer feel and just knowing that I'm helping people that I love and care about is pretty cool to me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's look ahead a little bit.
Yeah.
You've continued expanding your services over the years. Do you have anything in store for the future?
Yeah, so I think my big push will be moving more into hormone health and really diving into that. And maybe I've been dreaming for the last year about this, but I haven't had time, which is a good thing to not have time. But I also really want to get more out into the community and do more education on hormones, on weight loss, because there's so much misinformation out there right now, but I would really like it for it to come from an educated standpoint. I also really want to start teaching providers too. So those are some things I really want to dive into, a little bit more education, but really diving into hormone health is important to me.
That's awesome. So then on a personal side, when you're not caring for your patients, because you're feeding into all these people, how do you fuel yourself? So what do you do in your free time?
Yeah. So I love to spend time with my kids and my husband and my friends. Like I pour my life into that. We love hosting. We're always doing 4th of July things and football games at our house. I just took my kids up to Northeast Iowa to go kayaking. Being outside and hunting and fishing and doing all those things is extremely important to me. So basically just being with my friends and family anyway, anytime I can, and then educating myself while I'm doing that. I always have my headphones on when I'm mowing or cleaning to listen to more education on healthcare too.
Yeah. So what has inspired you throughout your career so far?
Oh my gosh, so many different things. I think just making a difference and people telling me their stories is really the coolest thing about it, honestly.
Yeah.
People opening up and telling me things that I can tell they're like, well, now I'm comfortable with you. So I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on. I'm like, cool. You didn't have to be weird in the beginning. Let's just talk about it. So I think that's really the biggest part of my job that I love.
Yeah. So when people leave Revival, how do you hope they feel?
Heard, seen, comfortable, encouraged, excited. I'm just not afraid. I just want them to just feel like they belong there.
Yeah.
And I genuinely, we get a lot of feedback that people do. So I hope that continues.
Awesome.
It's a big goal of mine.
Yay.
Awesome.
Do you have anything else you'd like to share today?
I don't think so. I think we got it. We covered it all.
Yes. Your website?
Yeah. It's revivalwellnessandweightloss.com. You can book any of our services there. If you want to reach out to anybody that rents a room from us, you can just look on their Facebook pages or come up to Revival and get their cards.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Be sure to like and subscribe.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Bridging the Gap, the Madison County Chamber of Commerce podcast, where Madison County's stories and businesses connect. We hope today's conversation gave you a deeper look at the people and passion behind our local community. To learn more about today's guest, visit their website, and for more chamber events, membership, or resources, visit www.madisoncounty.com. Be sure to subscribe, share, and join us next time as we continue bridging the gap across Madison County.